What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Shopper Golf Channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Best 9 Bets. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. Like, I don't know, content that wins you 4 outrights in the last 6 tournaments. Yeah, if the Masters didn't exist, we would be on an absolute insane heater. But guess what? We already are. Because this is insane. Tony Finau comes to fruition. We win the matchup there. We had a couple of missed cuts that came through for us too. So many good things about the Mexico Open. It seems like these random golf tournaments that people aren't putting as much work into, we are smashing. But I have to say, before we start here for the Wells Fargo Championship, gigantic golf tournament, the hardest group of odds, the hardest outright market to beat, I think, all year long. We're going to be taking some deep shots. We're going to be getting really, really weird because I think betting any of the top players this week is kind of a difficult proposition. The numbers are too short. This golf course, too probabilistic. I don't know what that means. It means something that I'm trying to say. There's so many random things that are going to happen from time to time, but the best players are too short in numbers, even though they're by far the most likely to win anyway. What I want to get to is FanDuel Sportsbook. We're going to start off with that. You guys can sign up in the video description box below. There's also DraftKings. They're running an identical bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets deal right now is what it would be. So sign up in the video description box below. Help us keep the lights on here by just checking out anything that we have in that video description box below. We're trying to help you. This is truly help us help you. $150 in bonus bets. What could be better than do you like my sweater? It's only if you're 21 and over. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. Didn't mean to freak you out here from the get-go, but I want to re-emphasize how difficult this grouping of odds is because these books, they're realizing people are going to be betting some of the shorter golfers, and I wish we had even longer numbers for some of the mid-range. It's a very difficult board this week. So I did a lot of work. I've got my 9 best bets for you. We start in the matchups, then we go to the make miss cut, then we go to the outright market, just like we do every single week. I only have 3, yes, only 3 outright plays, 2 top 10s for you as well. So going to be a wild week, I think, at Quail Hollow. But yeah, without further ado, let's keep this heater going. Let's get to the picks. Just like we always do, scorecard at the bottom. I can't see it, so we're just going to make believe as I go across. We're going to hole number 1. That's my guess right there. Patrick Cantlay going to be facing off against Rory McIlroy, and all the news outlets are going nuts with something. Joey LaCava, we're talking Joey LaCava, Tiger Woods caddy, is going to be with Patrick Cantlay for the foreseeable future. Tells you Tiger Woods is probably really banged up if Joey's looking to get out back on the tour and carry a bag around. But Patrick Cantlay separated from his longtime caddy now with Joe LaCava, who is a pro's pro. It really does matter to just have somebody that you're comfortable with on the bag. They're obviously familiar with each other from President's Cups, Ryder Cups of years past. So there's that. That definitely helps. But as I look at this matchup, I don't know what to make of Rory McIlroy's golf game coming into Quail Hollow. This golf course is one that he's eviscerated in the past, but I have my concerns. He withdrew the week after Augusta National. He had the absolute, I don't even know what happened, the miscut at Augusta National, followed by skipping Harbor Town. Yes, one of the elevated events. He ends up skipping town, saying, nope, can't do it, even though it was his idea to begin with. I don't know what's going on with Rory, but when I'm getting plus 125 for Patrick Cantlay, who seems like he's freeing himself up after the Zurich Classic, adding a new caddy to the fray, all the strokes gain data still looks fantastic for him, just like it does for Rory for the most part. And short game doesn't really matter around this golf course by any means, by any stretch of the imagination. And Rory, by all intents and purposes, looks like a guy that should be able to play well here. Getting plus 125 for the proposition that something might be going on with him, I think is worth it. Rory's not going to be on my betting card as much as I might want it. Way too short of a number here, despite this golf course being one he has loved in the past. So Patrick Cantlay plus 125. Give me a coin flip where I get the side of it where, I don't know, plus 125. It's simply just math. So we're going to take the underdog in that one. Pretty straightforward for me. Cantlay over Rory to get the card started. Now, the last few weeks, we've been running really hot, whether it was plus 185, Tony Finau going up against Jon Rahm. Hope we run hot here with the Patrick Cantlay plus money. But hole number 2, I'm actually going to a minus money guy, Sam Burns, a staple of this program. Already got a W for the for the video earlier this season, I mean, the match play, of course I was going to bet him. I'm going to bet him every single week that he's on Bermuda grass, whether that's in Texas, whether that's in North Carolina, whether it's on the moon. If they have Bermuda grass and they fly it there, I'm absolutely going to have him there. A number of golf tournaments growing up. I mean, went to LSU, has the incredible profile in Florida, as well as all of these Bermuda tracks. And I think Quail Hollow sets up really nicely for him. Number one, you got to drive the ball really, really well. It is a beast of a golf course, and ball striking hasn't been phenomenal for him at times, but the irons have been the weak point, and he's going to have to figure out some of the the long iron prowess. But 51st in strokes gained off the tee over the course of his last 50 rounds, but over the last 20, I'm factoring that in more, because what was the major thing that happened at the beginning of the season? He found out at Riviera his driver was non-conforming. So it took him a while to be able to recover from that, to get a driver that he felt comfortable with. So I'm using more short-term data for my guy Sam Burns, and in that department, he is 41st strokes gained off the tee, a little bit of an improvement. And his matchup goes up against Tom Kim. Now, Tom Kim, they played the President's Cup out here last year. Different order of the golf holes, not that that matters by any means, but Tom Kim performed incredibly well on this track. Probably has some good juju, but a little bit different playing this golf tournament in the month of May than it is going to September, where you can get a little bit more run out. That might be playing a little bit firmer and faster. You get here, if you're not just bombing it out there with some of these other guys, you're really going to run into some problems if that putter doesn't stay red hot. And Tom Kim just kind of he's been on the struggle bus a little bit this season compared to what expectations were for this young man. I think he'll start recovering, but when he's 58th in strokes gained off the tee, a little bit worse than my guy over the course of the last 20 rounds. That being, of course, Sam Burns here. I think this is a little bit lopsided. A player that has incredible prowess on Bermuda grass and is a good driver of the golf ball now that he's got his driver intact. Going up against Tom Kim, shorter, not nearly as good. I get it. This golf tournament didn't get played here in 2022 it was. 2021, Rory won here. But definitely going to be paying close attention to Tom Kim. A lot of people are coming off that President's Cup from last year, where he came out gunslinging. I think it comes to an end here. So the matchup, lots of ways that I think Sam Burns gets it done for us against Tom Kim. Minus 130. Happy to be eating the chalk with that one. Another staple, it seems like, of Liddy's Best 9 Bets here on the OddsShopper Golf Channel. Hole number 3, Matt Kuchar. And I say this not necessarily in a good way. And Matt Kuchar, well, congratulations to him. He's had some really good performances this season. 3 top 10s already. Another top 20 thrown into the mix on the RBC, that last tournament out. But that RBC is a golf course that I think is kind of tailor-made for Matt Kuchar. More target golfy, less demand on distance. A lot of par 4s here, over 450 yards. And his long irons have spiked from time to time. But it seems as though the driver goes away and the approach goes away from time to time. And now you extend this to a golf course that, sure, you could say that it looks a lot like the Genesis, where he did finish top 10, but he gained 12.6 strokes gained tee to green in that one. Gained 11.6 at the Valero. If that fades out at all here, I think he is very live to miss a cut on a golf course with a lot more rough, a lot more long irons, less scoring up for grabs here, and the putter. He's really rebounded after three straight tournaments where he had lost over a stroke with the flat stick, 1.5 and 3.8 strokes gained putting. But I don't know. It seems as though he's kind of due for one of those weeks where everything kind of comes together in a negative way. And at over 1.5 to 1, pretty much everywhere, or over plus 150 in that range, exactly 1.5 to 1. I think it's worth a shot, worth a sprinkle, if you will. Still half unit across the board, because we aren't changing anything with this video after the last couple of weeks of run. Matt Kuchar to miss the cut, plus 150. Oh, sad face. I wanted to go to the make cut section. I really, really did. But I'm in a negative mood, negative headspace, if you will, which... No, I'm not. I'm just kidding. I'm always happy. Hey, let's go. Hit that like button. Hole number 4, looking at Patrick Rodgers to miss the cut. Now, this is going to be blasphemous. Having it so well. We just saw him play well at the Valero Texas Open. How could you possibly continue to pick on Patrick Rodgers? Well, I don't know. Kind of fun to do it from time to time. Now, he finished top 10 at the Mexico Open. I did not expect that from him. A lot of people were happy to be jamming him from whether it was DFS betting, no matter what it was, Patrick Rodgers came to fruition with him. Final round 64. That'll buoy things awfully nicely. But Quail Hollow, this is kind of a prove-it spot, a much deeper field, like by leaps and bounds compared to what you had at the Mexico Open. And I think a lot of people are starting to value him, especially the markets, a little bit too favorably. Now, it's only plus 142, so Matt Kuchar actually has a little bit longer odds to miss the cut than Patrick Rodgers does, even though the make the cut is shorter for Patrick Rodgers, if that makes sense for you. So it's a little bit strange to me the way that these odds are configuring from book to book, but on FanDuel Sportsbook, where this number is plus 142 for Patrick Rodgers to miss a cut, I'm expecting it to happen sooner rather than later, where the driver, sure, it can pick him up from time to time, and he's been awesome in that department. 21st in strokes gained off the tee over his last 24 rounds amongst this field. But the putter, the approach, lots of other question marks I have where he's been running a little bit too hot for my liking. And now I get a price to basically say, nope, he's not that caliber of player yet. So Patrick Rodgers, almost 1.5 to 1 here for him, plus 142 on FanDuel. Happy to be firing that up as another miscut option. Before we head to the top 10 and outright market, just want to let you know, FanDuel Sportsbook, you bet $5, get $150 in bonus bets. Seems like a phenomenal deal, especially because, I don't know, you bet $5 on a 30 to 1 favorite. That's a ton of money that could be coming into your pocket pretty darn quickly. In fact, that'd be another 150 added to the fray. Look at that math off the top of my head. Nobody said there'd be math here, except that's literally all this is. Head to that comment section below. Check out FanDuel. It takes you all of about a minute or two to sign up at FanDuel Sportsbook. And hey, let's say you already have this one because it is one of the biggest in North America. DraftKings also offering great stuff. So yeah, DraftKings Sportsbook, identical offer of bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets, and that $5 bet doesn't need to win. Huge caveat. So a big deal for you. Instantly get that $150 in bonus bets, and then check out, I don't know, Odd Shopper channel with Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks in the MLB and NBA Street every single Monday through Friday. I'm here to help you out. So hit me up on Twitter at Eric Lindquist if you have questions about this, but no further explanation needed here. FanDuel Sportsbook, DraftKings Sportsbook, you want exposure to those two. It's only if you're 21 and over, and if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Alrighty, y'all, back to the picks. Let's ride. I hate that I sounded like Russell Wilson starting now and up. Bronco country, let's ride. Oh no, we'll see. Sean Payton, what a world. Anyway, Will Gordon, that's going to be who kicks off our top 10 market, and I'm pretty interested in backing him at a better than 10 to 1 number here. And why? Well, there's starting to be signs of really good ball striking. We're talking 55th in strokes gained off the tee, 35th in strokes gained approach. But when you start talking about a guy over 10 to 1 who has that kind of a ball striking profile, I kind of want to back it. The Mexico Open, 24th, 4.1 strokes gained off the tee. That is going to be something that if it just continues into this golf tournament, he can be flat with the approach. He could be flat or negative around the green like he always is. He could be flat with the putter, and it won't matter because he'll still get through and put himself into competition. Now, is this something that's super likely when we're talking about 10 to 1? No, it's not, but it's about that value, about making good bets week in, week out. So if you're in it for the long haul, hard not to like this kind of a number on an emerging player here, somebody that had a great fall, made every single cut throughout the entire fall swing, third at the WWT. Good stuff. Let's www.com/ I got to throw something in the middle. WillGordon.com/top10. How about that? There we go. Plus 1100 for my dude. Ball striking extraordinaire, Will Gordon. Okay, calling Will Gordon a ball striking extraordinaire, probably a little bit of a stretch. Let's be dead serious. But this is not a stretch when I say Luke List, ball striking extraordinaire. 4th in strokes gained off the tee, 55th in strokes gained approach. And again, one of the major things you got to do at this golf course is you got to hit it long and you got to hit it remotely straight. Now, he came off of a missed cut at the Mexico Open. So why am I so sick? Why am I dipping my toes into the top 10 market with a Luke List? Well, the Farmers, whether that's Torrey Pines, whether you're looking at these longer golf courses, US Opens coming up, there's going to be guys that you don't expect at the top of the leaderboard who get there purely buoyed by incredible ball striking. And there's nobody on tour who's going to be as putrid in every other portion of their golf game as what Luke List is. But if it's playing difficult, which again, Rory McIlroy in 2021, Quail Hollow, last time I was out here, -10 was the winning score. So it's not about going low. It's about being good relative to your competition. And Luke List, you're not asking him to go out and make tons of birdie putts. You're not asking him to do things of that nature. You're asking him to gain tons off the tee. And 2 of his last 3 tournaments, 3.2 and 4.1 strokes gain off the tee. And around the green game really doesn't matter at this kind of a track. Again, it's going to be long, rough around the greens, but decent enough green complexes that are going to be difficult for everybody. They're going to be very difficult for whether you're Tom Kim, a great putter, a Taylor Montgomery, or if you're Luke List. So I think it kind of evens it out. And I think there's an opportunity for him to just go completely nuts and do what we saw at the Genesis. Now, he only finished top 30 there, 29th, but he gained 4.2 strokes gain off the tee, 4.1 at the Valero for a top 40 there. He's going to have a ton of missed cuts, and it's going to look really, really ugly from time to time. But when he spikes, you're going to want a piece. And I'm just saying, Luke List, 12-1, plus 1,200 being the prevailing number for a top 10 here. I'm not asking him to win. I'm asking him to just put himself in the mix for this top 10. And I think long-term, I'm looking at bombers. I'm looking at guys at Quail Hollow who could just, find ways to succeed in that department. Now, a little contradictory that I'm kind of picking on Patrick Rodgers. But again, Patrick Rodgers has super short numbers as opposed to Luke List. So when I look at them about the same in certain characteristics, Luke List is a worse putter than all of us. I still want to have an opportunity to back somebody at this kind of a number that I still think can just be flat in those departments from time to time. 12-1, Luke List. Oh my God, can't believe that's on the card. Only 3 outright plays for me. That starts off with hole number 7, and I'm going to go from the shortest number to the longest number this week. Normally, I kind of do it in reverse, and then my favorite is going to be the one who's the shortest because, it makes you feel smart at the end, even though, again, it's just math. But, friends, Cameron Young, this man is basically Luke List who can actually have a short game attached to him. Now, 7th in strokes gain off the tee, 41st in strokes gain approach amongst this field. The putter, the around green game, pretty much equally as horrendous as it is for Luke List, but there's still ways that he finds himself into the top 10 conversation quite routinely. And we haven't seen him really compete for one of those wins like we saw last year. Now, the Open Championship was a huge emergence. Well, the Wells Fargo here last year finished 2nd as well. So there's a lot of reasons that I'm pretty optimistic for Cameron Young. One, also in the middle of a caddy switch, also figuring some things out himself going forward. Has Webb Simpson's old caddy here on the bag. 7th at the Masters, 51st at the RBC, but lost around the green end with the putter there again. Give me all of the bad around the green players here. And I think Cameron Young is the cream of the crop amongst them, him and Victor Hovland. And I'm getting a better number with Cameron Young here at the moment than what I think we should be getting. And I wanted to add Victor Hovland at pretty much the identical number as well. Maybe I will still, but I am not going below 20-1 because as you look at the odds, Rory McIlroy, 7.5-1 being the best number. That is absurd to me. Cantlay 15-1, Xander 17-1, Tony Finau 17-1, and Jordan Spieth the identical 20-1 number here. So as I'm looking at these top 4 or 5 players, I think Cameron Young just being on the precipice of an emergence here. We saw the form last year in the middle of this spring swing, and I think we just kind of ride. I don't want to say Broncos country. Let's ride again. Why is that coming in my brain? Let's move on. Cameron Young, 20-1, the shortest odds player that I currently have on the card. Maybe I add Hovland, but you don't want to get too cute and have too many of those short odds guys. Hole number 8. I feel like you knew this was coming, right? Right? Sam Burns? Like I was always betting Sam Burns at 30-1 or worse, right? Let's just automatically make a rule that if it's plus 3,100 or whatever the heck over at FanDuel Sportsbook, that you just bet it, and then I don't have to talk about it on this program. Otherwise, you know what? I'm happy to talk about it. 6th at the Valspar, always plays well at the Valspar. 15th at the RBC Heritage, lost strokes around the green there, which isn't typically what he does, but 6.2 strokes a game with the putter there. The approach, the off the tee game, everything looked positive across the board there. I really have nothing to say. He figured out this driver, the Genesis, the Arnold Palmer. I don't even look at those two because he had that crappy driver that he had to figure out. Players Championship, was very happy with it, 35th, then brought it to the Valspar. Masters top 30, everything is coming up roses for our guy. And one, the Valspar last year. The Charles Schwab won the match play this year. So many different W's. The Sanderson Farms last year. The Valspar the year before that. We're talking 5-6 wins. This guy is the most undervalued player because when he plays well, he puts himself in the mix with every department of his golf game. It could be with the putter. It's usually with the off the tee game and the combination of the putter. And well, those are the two most important clubs in the bag here at Quail Hollow. So I'm happy to be backing my guy Sam Burns on Bermuda grass. Oh yeah, friends. Oh, my favorite play on the board, no doubt about it. Plus 3,100 on FanDuel Sportsbook. Sam Burns, maybe add a top 10 to that. Plus 310, best number currently available. And the last play on the board, and yeah, this is a pretty straightforward play for me too. I can't believe I'm getting this number on Corey Conners. Had to double check. 70 to 1. I'm getting 70 to 1 on Corey Conners. That seems like an overreaction by the market. Corey Conners is an unbelievable ball striker. We all know that, right? If you didn't, now you do. The Valero, 9.6 strokes game with the approach, 4 with the off the tee game, was flat with the around the green and the putter. Actually gained 1.2 with the around the green game. Goes to the RBC Heritage the week after the Masters, finishes 31st. A little bit of a letdown considering he had finished in the top 10 at the Masters 3 consecutive seasons. But one of the things about Quail Hollow, it has longer rough than Augusta, but it plays a lot like Augusta. Some longer par 4s, some holes that you just have to take advantage of. Par 5s, the short par 4, 14th, I believe it is, on the back 9. Lots of places where I think you're going to see scoring opportunities for long players, and you're just not going to see them for some of the shorter boppers. And Corey Conners just fits that profile of every player that I'm looking at here for this week. 11th amongst the field in strokes gained off the tee, 16th with the approach. Terrible around the green and putting numbers. 126 with the putter, 106 around the green. But when you play a 7,500-yard golf course with rough lurking pretty much everywhere, especially around the green, it neutralizes the field. And if you can't hit it as far as them, well, you're fighting an uphill battle quite literally at Quail Hollow. So I'm very much looking forward to a 70 to 1 number. Don't be betting it at 60. I don't want to see your 55 or 60 to 1 tickets when Caesars has 70 to 1 currently, when Bet365 has 70 to 1 currently. There's only 4 states that have that, but that's a conversation for another day. Come on, Bet365. Get everywhere else. That'd be great. But as it stands right now, head to Caesars Sportsbook. Corey Conners 70 to 1, the longest play that I currently have on my card. Do I take a 250 to 1 shot on Luke List? He's on my list of the best things in life. Let's get out of here, shall we? And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Best 9 Bets. Head to that comment section below. Let me know how much money you won on Tony Finau. That was great stuff. It's really great stuff. I'm very happy with myself. 4 of the last 6 weeks. Can we make it 5? If we make it 5, I might have to just take my talents to South Beach, buy a penthouse, never come out. Actually, I don't want the humidity, that's for sure. It's May. It's going to get humid real quick. I think I'll stay north. But either way, hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell as we get out of here. Check out FanDuel Sportsbook. Check out all the great offerings in that comment section below every single day. Until next week, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the PGA streets at the Wells Fargo Championship this weekend.